1 month left.
Mm-hmm. Nice round number.
What are we gonna do? We can't go on like this.
Head off, Carmine.
No, you're right. We need an interruption.
There's nothing new to do or think. Is that why?
People have always felt like that. I mean, I think it's possible that there is some great untapped well of something, but newness isn't the problem. But sure, there must be some reason we're all so restless.
Grasping at straws.
Yes.
I guess so. Although, I was talking about this with Oscar the other day. Is it because of the way we live? The times and the machinations? Or is it something fundamental about living? Is it something special about us? Or just me? I mean, for all I know, the two of you are just nodding along.
It is too hot today.
I used to come here every Sunday till I was about 14 or so.
Why'd you stop?
Can't really remember. They must have committed some grave crime against God, though, because it was fucking boring. Maybe that's the problem with most Protestants or Americans or whatever. They take a very middle-of-the-road approach to something that's really an all-or-nothing kind of deal. I mean, the way to get in touch with God is to experience the most possible life, the greatest possible sensations. Remember in June, we went to that art museum? We spent all the time in the medieval section?
It gets a bad rap. It's good.
It's good. And it's all about producing sensations. The colors.
The red.
The reddest red. The most golden gold. And if you look at the faces of the martyrs when they're being shot full of arrows or crucified upside down, they're loving it. They're experiencing a pleasure greater than we'll ever know.
And then there's the other side of the coin. The nothing. Like monks locking themselves in rooms and not eating anything.
Waiting silently to hold the hand of God.
I don't think I want to sit and pray in the dark for my last month of freedom from responsibility.
Who's free? I thought we were cosmically burdened.
Sure, and I don't want to get stabbed to death by Romans yet. But there have to be other ways of encountering the most life.
Heightening things.
The greatest quantity of life and the most intense quality of life.
Without incurring serious bodily harm or emptying our bank account.
Well, if you insist.
And the next month, before we go to school...
All right?
All right?
Yeah. Is it working yet?
I think if it was, you wouldn't have to ask.
All right. We gotta go. I gotta give this letter to Naomi before she leaves tomorrow.
Can't you just give it to her at school?
I don't know. I think giving it in person is important.
What'd you write about?
I'm doing one for everyone I talk to before I leave. As a goodbye, but also like the way of what you were talking about, producing more life. With the people you know, even your immediate friend group, you see them, you spend time with them, but you never really dissect that relationship or talk about your feelings. And now I'm at this natural fault line in my life where I'm no longer living with these people every day, and I feel like I should be thorough and honest.
You have something to confess?
No, I just have thoughts.
Did something happen?
I have a very rich internal world,
Arguably richer than your external one.
Okay, I'm making it sound too negative. I'm not writing these just to yell at people, but even if I was, isn't that just the point? To produce honest situations when we're clearly in such a drought of them. I'm still dealing in extremities.
Maybe. Or maybe you just won't get invited to any New Year's parties.
It's not going to be that bad. People like hearing about themselves.
Yeah, I guess. We could lie down in the middle of the road.
No.
Well.
No.
What about a blood pact? I've always wanted to do one of those.
We don't have anything good enough to swear to.
It'd be disingenuous.
Bye. See you guys soon.
Thank you.
Boredom is the ultimate affliction of our age.
As in 18 or the 2020s?
You know, as I was saying it, I was thinking it applies to both.
There's no way 18 is more boring than 45.
Or the 90s?
Well, I can understand why they were bored. I mean, at that point, it's not really an affliction, it's a measured response. But why am I bored?
Well, at least they're married. Who cares if you have someone to come home to?
Are we sleeping tonight?
But it is alright, maybe.
Most things are good when you put your mind up to it.
I think you're right. Most things are good.
We should go back to that art museum.
Have you read Howl yet?
Have you seen Pain and Glory?
I don't know if Pierrot Le Fou or La Chinoise should be your first regard.
Hearts of Darkness.
Haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Oh, neither have I. Anyway.
I think intellectual approaches are probably wrong. It's a physical feeling.
Saintly ecstasy. Christ. Oh, I'm speed sick.
Sure, I guess. It's like seeing, but outside of any visual or physical terms. A sensation, a feeling.
I think I'd like to live my life without being intensely aware of how I'm living it. You know, I read this quote once about how if you're crying in a train station, even if you have a perfectly fine reason for doing so, all you're going to be able to think about is how cliche you are for crying in a train station.
God, I'd be so good at that. I need someone to break my heart at an airport.
But movie characters don't know when they're being cliche, they just do what they do. I can't just do anything. If I go to a baseball game with my family, I'm doing the normal, all-American thing. Or if I go to a party, I'm doing the teenager thing. When we get high and go to Taco Bell, I'm playing at being the stoner, but I can't ever just be. So I think it's freedom from that.
I think I'd like to be in a little room with another person, and we're holding hands. And there's light filtering in through a window, maybe. I don't even need that.
God, I can't take this.
I feel bad, though. And then I feel even worse because I don't feel bad enough.
Not going well?
I've known him for 3 years. Why can't I think of anything?
Not everything lends itself to these sorts of grand gestures.
I wrote 4 pages for Maria yesterday.
Does it feel good? Actually getting into it for once.
It's no way to live, but yes, it does.
It is a way to live, though, I think. You know, that's the point. If something makes you feel sad or angry or uncomfortable or whatever, you should lean into it.
Sometimes I just want to get lunch with someone.
You should live your life the way you want to live it every second of every day.
There's something that everything is so deflated now. We're sick of the sameness.
But still, what do we say to each other?
I'll be okay tomorrow morning. I'm God's favorite.
Ha! God must be punishing me for something then. Is there hope for me?
I don't know. I mean, you're clearly very good at what you do, but there's something more going on, right?
maybe you're biblically cursed, but you've also got this divine mandate. Maybe this is just your lot in life, but that's why everything's so touched. I don't know. I'm not saying you're Christ on the cross, but sometimes that is part of it.
College can't possibly be any worse. It never is. Yeah. You're right.
Well, it's silly when you put it like that.
We'd be doing other things if we could. There is just nothing else to do.
Yeah, but it's kind of self-important.
There are worse crimes.
I guess, but usually people just do drugs without the philosophical justification.
Yeah, but isn't this better?
Hey, Max, when do we get our letters?
I can't. I tried. I'm sorry.
That's bullshit. You had trouble with Jake's letter and you sucked it up.
Yeah, and I love Jake, genuinely, but it's different. I think I just have to know you guys for the rest of my life because I could never say goodbye to you in a way that would be satisfying. And James Lee O'Hurley actually got the phrase Midnight Cowboy from Tennessee Williams, who was describing Marlon Brando in rehearsals for...
Everything is going to change, you know?
Oh, yeah, you know. Sometimes change is good.
Am I just young or small-minded? What could be more than this?
I'm not saying I'm not in the mood for it or that I don't enjoy it. I'm with you. It's just a vicious way to live.
It's not sustainable.
It's not meant to be.
No one can stay in the Garden of Eden.
Who's that?
James Baldwin, Giovanni's room.
But can't we try?